Well, good morning to you all. Tony Virtue speaking, Virtue and Partners with our regular monthly update. Starting with the CPI numbers, came in higher than was expected. Normalised 1% for the quarter, 3% for the year, normalised. That was higher than what is expected, and as a result of that, it is most unlikely that interest rates will drop in Australia next week. Or indeed in December. As I put in my notes, just be mindful that statistically they sometimes restate these things. What's driving that? You don't need me to tell you house pricing and everything associated with that has gone up. Some of these electricity rebates have now been pulled back as well. So that affects the cost of capital. It may or may not impact on people's confidence for investing. Time will tell with that. In contrast, the United States actually dropped their rates last night, with the caveat they were less likely to do that in December. So this Goldilocks, you want an economy to continually grow, but you don't want a circumstance where there's a bubble and then that has to be unwound there. And I think it's fair to say that most assets are pretty fully valued at the moment. We're in AGM season at the moment. I'm running between various meetings, and that gives us some guidance for outlook for the next 12 months. I think the main thing to look for with the larger companies are these dividends, these franking credits that I keep talking of, that we're using very much to support people's income streams in retirement. So far they seem to be holding up, and clearly, as I put in my notes, you've really got professional directors, probably don't have a lot of shares in the company they manage, and they are very, very risk adverse. So you won't see too much activity happening in the top end of the market. I guess the caveat with that, ANZ brought in a Portuguese manager, and quite a few changes there. What is going on in totality? The use of artificial intelligence to reduce cost base, improve profitability, and then shares over time. And as we look at the US market, Nvidia ticking over to $5 trillion now. Largest company in the world, been worth investing in 10, 15 years ago, and that's a good example of investing in our generation. Now, what's going on there? These massive data centers being built, some of them the size of Manhattan, and this trend towards substantial investments by the Metas, by the Facebooks, the Googles, the Amazons into getting control of the data centers that will effectively drive a lot of this AI. So what could go wrong? The danger is that there's an oversaturation. We get to a point where we have access to all the knowledge that we need. Everyone's got their special AI person they talk to. Mine I'm talking to less frequently now. It's becoming something that is a little ho-hum. So there is this risk of too much capital put in, and that over time earnings disappoint. But that's not the case at the moment, and it would be a very, very brave person to bet against that. And fund managers that have are really underperforming at the moment. As you probably expect, the property side continues to grow. The numbers that you can see on the screen there for October have been high. Maybe this will taper a little bit if there is a hold in interest rates, but certainly there's been quite a wealth creation through that. The question becomes, where does that money go? Those of you in the city can see them all lining up in Martin Place to buy a little bit of gold. In absolute terms, it's not much, but it certainly stands out as something that is very visual. I talk to the fact that we have a lot of people retiring our community at the moment. That keeps us extremely busy here. We are trying to favour those who are existing clients, friends and family, make sure we do a good, thorough job, make sure that we avoid these outliers in the market, and that we stay true to our whole purpose, which is to provide the best life possible we can for our clients. So we're moving in towards Christmas. We have client functions, etc. coming out. Invites will be out soon. But for the moment, business continues. It looks like Trump's getting a few deals done with the Chinese. So in aggregate, I would not be rushing for cash at the moment, but I would say assets look pretty fully valued. So probably expect a little bit of a pullback at some stage before Christmas. Well, that's enough for today. I look forward to seeing you over the next few weeks. Tony Virtue, when experience pays.